Welcome back, everybody, to a landmark night in the history of our great sport. I am the boy governor, Governor Clinton, governor of Arkansas, and I am here with my partner.
Oh yeah, 1 inch biceps. Yeah, baby. I'm glad to be here.
It's good times. We are down here in Rio de Janeiro. How are you liking Brazil, Incher?
Oh, it's excellent. I like being down here in Brazil. It's like you can go and walk out and get bitten by a crazy snake somewhere, and that would be bad times. But I love in Rio de Janeiro.
Oh yeah, a lot of fun to be had down here.
Uh
There's a
huh. A lot
lot
of
of
wild animals you gotta avoid, and I think we
wow.
saw some of those wild animals in the ring tonight.
Oh, we did see them because we're down here for
Uh
the
huh.
South American Title Tournament.
Oh yeah. I hardly ever come this way of the equator, but I'm past it now, baby. Oh yeah.
Rio de Janeiro is a big wrestling territory. A lot of great matches happen down here,
Mm-hmm.
and they're holding this title tournament because longtime South American champion Joel Gomez has retired from wrestling.
Man, I mean Joel Gomez, he has meant so much to the sport of professional wrestling. And that's right, I said professional wrestling. You know, some of those people in the crowds, they try to act like this stuff ain't real, but I know it's all on the up and up. I've seen people bleed. I know it's all real.
You can't fake that sort of blood there. I mean,
No.
look, how can they say it's fake?
No, I mean, how's a man going to sit there in the ring and bleed at the top of his head? I mean, there's no blood packet that's ever going to do that.
No, he's obviously gotten punched in the head.
Exactly. I mean, he's been busted open. These fans, they're just way out of line saying this stuff. It ain't real no more. I mean, they're just crazy. There's only a smattering of them, but it'll probably get worse in the years to come, you know?
You know, these are crazy, crazy people.
They are. They are.
But the real people know wrestling's real, and we're covering a great tournament tonight.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it's not like you're at home playing your Odyssey 2, made by Magnavox. It's taking over the world. It's going to knock Atari off of its high throne. The Atari thinks they've cornered the market. No sir, Magnavox. They've pulled out the big guns with the Odyssey 2. Check it
Now,
out, everybody.
you think I should switch over? Because I use the Atari right now.
Hey, the Odyssey 2. I mean, you're going to have to be getting one pretty soon, buddy, because it's taking over the nation.
Oh,
Everybody loves the Odyssey 2.
I could see me having that in the governor's mansion right now.
I mean, the Atari, you can disconnect your controller, but the Odyssey 2, they said, no, screw that. We're gonna hardwire this thing. So you got your controller fixed right in there, and you got a keyboard right on the system. I mean, what other video game system of today is gonna have a keyboard on it?
Why would you want anything besides a hardwired controller?
I
You don't want to
know.
lose it.
God, I mean, yeah, you could lose that thing, or your dog could run off with it or something. I mean, what are you going to do if Poochie runs off with your controller, man?
I, you're not going to play any video games, that's for sure.
That's for sure. Odyssey 2, baby. I mean, the joystick, it's totally unique. It's way different than Atari. Yeah, everybody needs to check it out.
Well, maybe someday we'll have a radio show where we talk about this great gaming system and how it puts everyone out of business.
Exactly. Well, I'm just glad that they're a sponsor of ours, and I'm just proud to back that system.
Good guys there. They paid
Hmm
for our flights down here to Rio de Janeiro.
That's right. That's right. Little KC Munchkin, he's foot the bill for us.
Mm, good guy. Well, let's run down the competitors in this tournament, Incher, so people who are know who's in it and what's going on and how it turned out.
Oh yeah, fans, we had some wild animals in the ring tonight. Oh my goodness, this tournament just left me flabbergasted at all the people that's in the ring, and I'm just so happy to see all these stars in the prime doing what they do the best.
Damn right.
And you can't pick a better setting down here in Rio de Janeiro. Brazil, baby. I love it. I love the Brazil women. It's great.
when you can tell that they're women, that is.
Hey, hey, I don't know about the one that I was with last night, but it felt like a woman to me.
Fool you once, huh, Incher?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh man. Uh, uh,
But I didn't engage in any sort of
but
inappropriate activity. I'm the
mm-hmm.
governor of Arkansas. I'm a happily married man, but you had some fun. I,
The girl, she didn't speak a good English or anything, but she she was cool.
I wouldn't know. I sat in the room and drank tea, so
She's kind of barrel chested, and she had blonde
barrel
hair.
chested, huh?
Yeah, blonde hair too. But we're cool.
Well, that sounds like you had a good time. I'd like
Yeah,
to meet this
yeah. I
gal.
mean, she's kind of built a little funny, but man, she knows I'm down here on KC Munchkin's bill, and she knows that I come to play, and I'm here to watch some fine professional wrestling.
And that's what we saw. So we have 8 men in this tournament. I'll run them down, and then we'll
Hell
go
yeah.
through the matches and tell you what happened because you couldn't be down here in Rio de Janeiro like us.
That's right, man. It's a hard word to say, but we're pumping it out. I mean, we need to tell the fans back in the U.S. what it's all about, what is going down here, because this show was none other. I mean, none other. It's one that would make you want to punch your mother. Oh yeah, it's awesome.
Oh yeah. So in this tournament, we had one half of the AWA Tag Team Champions, Mad
Hmm.
Dog Vachon.
Oh, Mad Dog Vashon. When the Mad Dog's getting in the ring, he's a wild animal. And he was
Crazy.
taking on another wild animal, and that was the Superfly, Jimmy Snuka. Oh, yeah, he's the NWA United States Champion, baby. You know you're down for a match when you got the AWA Tag Team Champion, one half of them, going up against the NWA United States Champion.
The unique thing about these Rio de Janeiro events is it brings professional wrestlers from all the organizations in, and they battle for true supremacy.
I mean, this is like if KC Munchkin and Pac-Man had a fight.
Oh man,
I mean, they'd be biting at one another. I mean, it'd be crazy times.
I'd buy a front row ticket to see that one.
I think KC Munchkin though would hand Pac-Man his round yellow butt. That's
Oh,
right. That's right. Odyssey 2, baby.
gotta get behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Odyssey 2, they're great.
Yeah, Magnavox, they bring you a hard-hitting system, baby. But let's get back to the match. I mean, come on, we got two great superstars, animals, wild animals down in Rio de Janeiro. Oh yeah, what are they gonna do?
Man, this bout just got off like crazy. They didn't even get to the ring at first.
Uh huh.
They
Uh
just started battling in the aisle.
Oh my goodness, these wild animals just going at one another, battling in the aisle. I was like, man, this
I
this
mean,
is some hard hitting action. No other action could be this hard hitting in anybody's household unless they had an Odyssey too.
fists were flying, and they
Uh
finally
huh.
got it into the ring. The referee just couldn't get control of this match, though.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the ref. I wonder what they think they're there for sometimes. They just stand there and they start counting numbers. It's like, what are you doing, you idiot? These guys are going to kill each other before the match even starts. These are wild animals, man.
Wild, wild animals. So they got into the ring, and there was somewhat of a match for this one, but
Uh huh.
they, just a lot of poking in the eyes and hitting each other with closed fists, which is illegal.
Mm hmm. Oh,
Removing turnbuckle pads, ramming them in. One of the bloodiest matches I have ever seen.
yeah, man. I mean, they're just in there fighting and gouging at one another, and all of a sudden, both men they spill outside of the ring, and the ref had to count them out. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. These refs, they just go out there and they start counting numbers. They don't earn their paychecks all night long. All they do is come out and just count to 10. And then they sent both these men packing. Do you believe this?
I couldn't believe it, but sure enough, two of the favorites of the tournament counted out in the first
I
round.
know. I mean, You want to see Jimmy Superfly Snuka? You want to see him continue on? He's the NWA champion, man. I mean, I want to see this guy getting, fisticuffs with some of the other competitors in this tournament down here in Rio de Janeiro. Oh yeah, Daddy.
I, I mean, we covered that first match, but let me just tell everyone who was all in the tournament, and then
All
we
right.
can go through it.
I mean, there's some big names in this tournament. You can run
Also,
them down, Prez.
also, one day, and sure, one day maybe.
I don't mean run them down like a car, man. I mean, like, tell everybody who's in this bout.
No, I meant one day I might be president.
Oh, I thought you wanted to run people down like a car, man. But
Well, I do
yeah,
want to run
I
down
know,
some
I know
people.
you got some aspirations to be president. That's the only reason I dropped that. I thought you'd dig it, man.
I'll tell you what, there's this guy who gets on my nerves. His name is
Uh,
Vince Foster. Maybe one day I'll run him down with my car.
hell yeah, yeah, man. You might not want to bring that stuff to the airwaves, though, dude. I know we got professional wrestling fans here. There's some lowbrow, they're lowbrow scene, man. But some of them, they might narc on you, dude.
You know what? I'll never do anything. I'm just
Hmm.
blowing off some steam here, but kind of pissed me off the other day.
Oh man,
I'm a man who holds a grudge for
They burn
years.
your biscuits, Daddy, but you just need to keep your cool, Daddy-o.
I'll keep my cool here. Anyways, so we said Mad Dog Vachon, Superfly Jimmy Snuka in the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Wildfire
Oh.
Tommy Rich is
Oh,
in this
man.
tournament.
Could you have seen Superfly taking on Wildfire? I mean, man.
Would have been crazy.
Yeah, I mean, what would have happened there?
Who knows?
You won't know tonight, that's for sure.
WWF North American Champion Pat Patterson is in this tournament.
Oh, man, Pat Patterson.
He's quite the grappler.
Yeah, he is. He's barrel-chested.
A real man's man, I would say.
I'd say so, too. I mean, that guy, he's just out there to tear somebody apart.
And-
He's just
and
out
he-
there just to force them to the pin them down and make the ref count 3.
He really does like to hold men down.
Yeah, he's pushing it. He is pushing it,
Some people say he pulls it too.
man. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to even think about all that. I mean, he's pushing and pulling it. I mean, this man has come to play.
Damn right he has.
This guy he's a regular. This guy's a regular tiger. He's a tiger, man. He's a wild animal.
The NWA British Commonwealth Champion, a title that is defended mainly in New Zealand. Rick Martel is in this tournament.
Mm-hmm.
He's a young up-and-coming superstar.
Oh man, I would definitely look for big things to come from this young man. I mean, he's Commonwealth champion. He's on the road. He's on the road to being a big star one of these days.
Maybe one day he may hold a big title, maybe a world title even.
I mean, Commonwealth, that's pretty good, dude. The British Commonwealth. I mean, come on.
Will he walk out of this the South American champion? Well, we'll talk about that later.
That's right. That's right.
That's what you call a tease, isn't it? It's a tease.
Oh man, I'm learning about it. You're showing me the ropes here on this wrestling show.
Jerry Briscoe is in this tournament. Brother of Jack Briscoe, former NWA champion.
Heck yeah, Jerry Briscoe. Yeah. He's I think his brother's a little bit better looking than this guy, but
Nah, who knows? I don't really notice how attractive men are.
uh oh well.
Oh well. Another young up-and-coming superstar in this tournament is Terry the Hulk Boulder.
Oh man. No, I mean, this guy, he's all blonde and he's out there, and I mean, I don't know if this guy's ever going to make anything out of himself.
He's got long blonde hair, full head of it. Pretty strong guy.
I mean, he's got all that going for him. That's true.
What do you think? He's got like a 22-inch bicep or something?
Somewhere around there, I mean, I know they kind of inflate those numbers sometimes, but I mean, this guy, as far as it goes in the ring, he's not like quite the competitor as like Pat Patterson. I mean, he's no WWF North
North American champion.
That's right. That's right.
Had a little sip of water there or something, huh? Sure.
Yeah, I was getting all choked up thinking about it. It's like Terry the Hawk Balder. He thinks he's something, but he ain't no Pat Patterson.
And the final man in this tournament is wrestling legend, Mr. Wrestling 2.
Heck yeah. I mean, you know what you're gonna get with Mr. Wrestling 2. It's in the title.
He's Mr. Wrestling
Part 2.
Part 2. He's
Mm-hmm.
not Mr. Wrestling.
No.
He's Mr. Wrestling Part 2.
Hmm. But he's just as good as the original.
Oh, if
Good
not
stuff.
better.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
So we ran down the Superfly Mad Dog match, and as we said,
We probably should have kicked it off with that one just to let the fans know, what a crummy job the referee did. I mean, he came out here and he just didn't even try to stop him. Didn't even get anybody to try to calm him down so they can have a match. He just let him have these, fisticuffs back and forth, and then he just double counts him out. I mean, that ref, I bet he was probably, drinking. He's probably drunk.
I think he was a drunkard, huh?
Yeah, I mean, he didn't want to do his job. He didn't want to earn his paycheck tonight.
Nah,
He was just out there just to watch him, battle away, and then he was just like, I'm just gonna double count these goose. I mean, the fans really want to see, one of these competitors continue on into the tournament.
but they don't get to see that double count out.
I mean, they ought to string this referee up by his hoo nanny.
Who, Nanny?
Hoo nanny. Ha
You,
ha!
you
You
ain't
know what?
fooling around.
I ain't at all, man.
Not
I,
fooling around.
I am so burned up about this.
I think you had a little too much fun in Rio last night.
Hey, you know how it is, man. You down here Rio de Janeiro, and you're like, man, Jesus Christ, I'm in Brazil. Woo, daddy, I'm gonna go crazy.
What
Gotta get my
happens in
dancing shoes on tonight.
And boy, did you cut a rug.
I
I
did
mean, I
cut a
wouldn't know
rug.
because I didn't go out with you. I stayed in my room and drank tea.
Yeah, whatever.
Anyways, we had several other bouts. Rick Martel in first round match against Mr. Wrestling 2.
Rick Martel, Mr. Wrestling 2. I mean, these guys, they came out and they delivered some goods here. I mean, after that last match with Jimmy Snuka and Mad Dog, these guys came out and they had themselves a solid back and forth match. I mean, it
Yeah,
was good stuff.
there's no kind of cheating at all in this match. Real solid wrestling match. Rick Martel kept working the leg. Mr. Wrestling 2 was solid wrestler back and forth.
hmm That's right. That's
A
right.
little small mistake, and that's all it took.
hmm That's right. Mr. Wrestling 2, he was able to get the upper hand. And he hit Martel with his signature knee lift. Oh my God! I mean, when you see that, it's lights out for Martel.
Lights out. Martel went for a
hmm
mistimed back body drop, and bam, right in the knee, right in the head with Mr. Wrestling 2's knee. Knocked him
hmm
out.
Mr. Wrestling 2, he don't take no crap.
He don't take no guff.
This kid, he was a little arrogant, but Mr. Wrestling 2, he put him in his place. He continues on in the tournament.
He does continue on in the tournament.
Heck yeah.
Nice show of sportsmanship afterwards. Mr. Wrestling 2 helped him up and shook Rick Martel's hand. So maybe these two will partner together later or something.
You
A lot of
know a
respect
man's a
there.
class act when he just delivers a knee right into the face and he knocks the man out, makes him look up at the lights, pins him, and then he's like, I'm not Mr. Big Head here. I gotta stop and help this man up and let the fans know that this is a worthy competitor, even though I just ended him right here in the ring.
Right there. Bam. One, two,
hmm
three.
I mean, you can take all the NWA British Commonwealth champions, put them up in the ring with Mr. Wrestling 2, and then you find out who's really worth their salt.
And apparently Rick Martel wasn't worth his salt.
Nah, he didn't happen tonight. So,
Maybe he'll be worth pepper.
Martel, you need to go back to the drawing board. Oh yeah.
Anyways, no titles were on the line in these matches. It's only for the South American title.
Mm-hmm.
So Rick Martel keeps his British Commonwealth Championship.
That's right. Heck yeah.
So the next round, or the next match, to face Mr. Wrestling 2 in the next round was Jerry Briscoe versus Terry Boulder.
Oh yeah. That guy with the blonde hair? He really thought he was something. You know.
Well, he was. This was a very lopsided match.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, Jerry Briscoe, he was on the offensive pretty early, and he had a lot of speed about him, man. He wasn't letting Terry Boulder get on over him one bit.
A lot of hit and run here for Jerry Briscoe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But as soon as the Hulk is what they call him,
Oh
the Hulk
man.
got his hands on him, bam, squashed him.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't too crazy about this guy, this Boulder guy, but I gotta give him props. He did deliver in this match.
He did deliver. I mean, repeated backbreakers.
Oh my
There
god.
were a lot of body slams.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Terry Boulder, for some reason, kept raking his back with his nails.
Uh-huh. I mean, yeah. And the thing about it, he kept raking the man's back. I think he was just trying to, weaken him up a little bit, because then he just slapped a bear hug on him, and it was over.
It was over. Bear
Jerry,
hug.
yeah. Jerry he just couldn't stand up to the Boulder's bear hug. He submitted.
It's a devastating move.
It is. Heck yeah. I mean, I'm probably gonna, lighten up, and be a fan of this man one of these days. But right now, Terry the Hawk Boulder, he just came out there and he cheated. I mean,
Uh,
Jerry Briscoe, he was giving it his all out there. But as soon as Terry Boulder, he got a hold of him, it was over.
this Terry Boulder guy. I don't think the fans are ever gonna like him.
Nah, probably
I
not.
I mean, look, I think he's probably gonna be a big name in wrestling.
Hmm.
Solid guy. Maybe he'll headline some smaller promotions in the country or something. But the fans will never get behind him. Probably stay a regional star for most of his career.
Hmm. You know what he's gonna do? He's gonna be doing a lot of sitting at home playing his Odyssey 2. That's what he's gonna be doing. He ain't gonna make no money in this business.
Now, do you think he'll probably have to buy a second-hand Atari once they go out of business?
He probably will. He probably will. Man, that's what you got to look forward to, Boulder.
Oh, Terry Boulder. Now he's got a brother, I think, named Ed Boulder. He's got big potential.
Yeah, I didn't,
Yeah,
I didn't know nothing about this guy.
yeah, Ed Boulder. I think there'll be big stuff from him.
Oh man, huh? Is he got blonde hair?
I think he may. It might be
Oh
dyed
man.
though.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
I don't know exactly.
Hmm.
I just read it through the magazines.
I hear you.
Anyways,
Ed
the
Boulder,
final
man. I need to check
Ed
that
Boulder.
guy out. Talk to some of my tape traders, or
Yeah, they
yeah,
might
I
get
need
some
to
good
get
stuff for you.
get some film over here. Yeah.
I hear he had a little run in Memphis, so
Mm-hmm.
just talk to our Memphis guys and they'll send us something.
Heck yeah.
The final match of this first round, and the winner of this match will get a bye because of what happened in the Snuka Vachon match, was WWF North American Champion Pat Patterson against Wildfire Tommy Rich.
Oh man. Oh man. I mean, Tommy Rich. He came out there and he was dominating most of the match. I mean, Tommy Rich. He came out there and he was like, "You might be WWF North American Heavyweight Champion, but by God, I'm Wildfire Tommy Rich."
He's basically the people's champion.
Hmm.
Everybody loves this kid.
Lots of fire and passion from Rich. That's right.
But like he said, Tommy Rich was dominating this match. Pat Patterson, he really couldn't get out of the starting gate. But
Hmm.
soon enough, when the ref was looking the other way, Pat Patterson asked him how much time was remaining in the match. The ref turns around, attacks the timekeeper. Low blow.
Oh man, imagine that Pat Patterson doing a low blow.
I don't know. I wouldn't think of him as the type of guy who would touch another man's junk.
Man, you wouldn't think that at all. I mean, and you know, if that wasn't dirty enough, the man he puts his feet up on the ropes for leverage to you know get the upper hand on Wildfire.
Yeah, rolled him up. Low blow, rolls him up, puts his feet on the middle rope. But one, two, three. Pat Patterson's going to the finals of this tournament.
Oh man, I mean, you know, if it wasn't for that ref hitting the sauce earlier, we would have seen another match here. But no, that ref he just didn't want to do his job.
He did not want to. You know what? He didn't ref another match after that night. I
Hmm.
bet the promoter just ripped him a new one and fired him on the spot.
Fed that man to the lions because there's wild animals out here, man.
Crazy, crazy times. Now, in any arena in the country, that first round of matches would have been enough for your money. Oh, but we're not done.
Hmm. Yeah, man. I mean, I was like, man, I could go home totally satisfied right now because I am satisfied.
But we have another match coming up.
Don't give me
Round,
any more, man. I don't
round.
need any more of this wrestling.
Oh, you're getting more
Oh
wrestling.
my God, you gonna give me more, man?
I'm
I'm gonna
giving
get
you
more
more, man.
matches.
I'm ordering you more matches because that's what's happening right now.
Oh my
Second round
goodness.
match,
Oh
Mr.
man,
Wrestling 2.
consider my mind blown, man.
We really got to get you back to the States.
Oh man.
Mr. Wrestling 2 versus Terry the Hulk Boulder.
Oh man. Yeah, we're going to finally see this Terry Hawk Ball to see if he's worth his salt when he takes on Mr. Wrestling Part 2. Mr. Wrestling Part 2, he is a gentleman. You saw him in the last match. He gave that knee lift right to Rick Martel, picked the man up and, you know, shook the dust off of him, and he said, on your way, lad. You just got served by Mr. Wrestling 2.
I mean, age and experience were on his side in that match,
Uh-huh.
but he's coming up against a giant of a man.
Oh, yeah, the Balder. Oh, yeah, Terry the Hulk Balder.
This Terry Boulder guy, he's like 6'6", 6'7",
Mm-hmm.
probably weighs 350. He's a huge man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He could probably lift you over his head.
Yeah, I guarantee you that, man. I mean, I know I hit the Twinkies and all, but he probably could lift me over his head. This is a cat. He knows his way around the weight room, if you know what I mean. You know,
Sure does.
I hear he's hanging and banging down in Venice Beach. You
Venice
know?
Beach, huh?
Yeah, Venice Beach. And you know, he's not used to all this Rio de Janeiro stuff, man. But this guy, he's Terry the Hawk Balder. I didn't like him at first, but he's really growing on me, man.
Man,
I'm
you've already
digging this
turned
dude.
around on him since the first match.
I love him. This guy's great. I love this Terry the Hawk Balder, man. I mean, I can't help it. I tried to put on a front. Like, I hated the man when I came on here. But I just gotta admit it. He's won me over already, dude. I love him.
If he was on a lunchbox,
Man, I mean,
would you
that
buy it?
sissy Ed Balder, I mean, screw him. He ain't no Terry the Hawk Balder. I mean, come on. And if he was on a lunchbox, I'd say bring me a truck full. I need all those lunch boxes. I need to hand them out to all the kiddies in my neighborhood and show them that Terry the Hawk Balder, he has come to play. He is going to come in here and he is going to beat Mr. Wrestling 2's ass. Because Mr. Wrestling 2, he's all you know, Mr. Goody Two Shoes. He's like, I got to pick the guy up and knock the dust off of him after I gave him a knee lift right to the face. He's like, yeah, like that's a good dude. You just freaking need somebody right in the face, man. And now you're acting like you're a good dude. Nah, Terry Hawk Balder, he's gonna show you what's up.
now that you have his lunchbox, are you going to drink from his thermos?
Yeah, man, I dig the thermos. You put some Kool-Aid in there, you're on the go. You got your
So you-
bologna sandwich. Heck yeah, that's good times. You know,
Good-
you got some
good
Fritos
times.
up in there, and everybody knows you came to play on the lunchroom. They're like, this man, he's serious about his lunch. He's like, man, he's breaking out some Belanja. He's just going crazy.
Crazy
eating the
times.
Belanja with the mustard. Oh man, he's got some Fritos too and Kool-Aid. I mean,
Who
this guy, the teachers would want to steal his lunch. They're like, he's got Fritos.
now? Don't you think they'd be scared to steal his lunch because Terry the Hulk Boulder is on the lunchbox?
Oh man, yeah. I mean, you can't mess with nobody they got Terry the Hulk Balder on the lunchbox, and he's liable to get crazy on you like Frito Bandito.
Just like Frito Bandito.
You know it, man.
Well, you know what wasn't like Frito Bandito? Mr. Wrestling 2's performance in this match.
Bandito, not Mandito.
I said
Bandito.
Bandito.
I thought you said Mandito. I'm sorry, man. I'm just getting crazy here. I'm down here in Rio de Janeiro, man. I think somebody slipped something in my drink.
I don't think that happens very often down here.
Oh man,
So the Hulk's strength dominates most of this match.
That's right. But as much as I like Terry the Hulk Balder, he's like the veteran Mr. Wrestling 2. He was able to get in some minor offense. He's slowly working it in.
Yeah, I mean, he slowly worked some in, kind of got some offense on, worked the arm a little bit, but any chance that Terry Boulder could, he got a hold of him. He's throwing back breakers, more back rakes, body slams, really working over Mr. Wrestling too, but couldn't get a 1-2-3 on him. It really started to frustrate Hulk.
Yeah, I think he was just trying to, show Mr. Wrestling 2 what's up, and that he's the new guy, and he's going to come along, and he's going to have his own lunchbox.
Well, what became a big focal point of this match was that Terry Boulder noticed some lovely ladies in the front row.
You can't blame him there, can you?
Oh, no, you can't.
I mean, there's some of those fine Brazil women all barrel-chested up in the front row. Heck yeah.
I don't know if you want to be going after barrel-chested women.
What do you mean, man? I mean, I didn't. Are you questioning me, man?
If that's what you're into, that's what you're into. But you never know. It might not work out well for you. But anyways,
man,
back to the
I
match.
gotta get all Frito Bandito up on you.
Calm down now. You know I'll kick your ass.
Yeah, I know, man.
But so the Hulk is flexing for these women in the crowd and really trying to impress them. He presses Mr. Wrestling 2 over his head a few times. He's just kind of pressing him up there. These women are eating it up.
And then Mr. Wrestling 2, he was like, uh-oh, I'm gonna take advantage of this opportunity.
Yep. Damn right he did, too. Because Terry Boulder, he got on one knee, and he was flexing towards these women in the crowd. And out of nowhere, bam!
Oh,
there was a big knee lift to the side of his head.
As much as I like Terry the Buck Holder, I was like, man, there ain't no way this cat's getting up from that. Now, this guy is out.
Out cold. Devastating knee lift. 1, 2, 3.
Show's over.
Mr.
Boulder.
Wrestling 2 defeats Terry the Hulk Boulder and is going to the finals.
Heck yeah, man. I mean, now we know what it's all come down to. I mean, we know that it is none other than Mr. Wrestling 2 taking on WWF North American Champion Pat Patterson. And this is going to be a showcase here. A showcase of the Immortals, one might say. Hey, they ought to use that for a show one of these days.
Showcase the Immortals. That could be good. Maybe they'll do it down in like Memphis. They're known for the big shows down there.
Yeah, I gotta be honest with you though. Hank McGee, he actually told me about that little, thing there.
Yeah, Hank's a visionary. I mean,
Yeah,
he's been in this business for decades now. He's responsible for a lot of the great things that happen. In fact,
I gotta give props to the man. You just can't take his stuff and then just not say his name.
Well, he's a part owner of this Rio de Janeiro territory. Did you know that?
Oh my goodness, I didn't even know that, man. This guy gets around.
He's got his hands in everything.
Yeah, he's like an octopus, hands all over.
Can't get away from him.
Mm-hmm.
Nor would you want to, though. Great guy.
No, no, you just look into his loving eyes. And you're like, oh my God, how can I resist?
Well, I don't know what kind of relationship you two have.
We don't need to get into that, man.
All right. We don't want to talk about that. We're talking about manly men. We're talking about Mr. Wrestling
Mm-hmm.
2 and Pat Patterson,
That's right. That's
the
right.
manliest of all men,
You
at
know it.
least in the South American title tournament.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You better believe it. Down here in Rio de Janeiro, they don't bring no funny guys down here to wrestle some matches. Pat Patterson though, he kind of had it easy in this. I mean, he didn't even have to wrestle the second match. He
Yeah,
just
he lucked out.
he just went on. I mean, it's all because of that damn ref that I talked about earlier.
Mr. Wrestling 2, he just survived a match against the much larger Terry Boulder.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He's worn out, man.
He was beat down during that match. So, as this match started, Pat Patterson was off to an early advantage.
Mm-hmm. Man, Patterson, he was on his game. He's a blue chipper. He was gonna take advantage of Mr. Wrestling too.
Yep. I mean, Pat Patterson was smart. He had a game plan. He went into that match. He
Mm-hmm.
started working the legs, so Mr. Wrestling 2 couldn't get off that devastating knee lift so easily.
Mm-hmm. Pat Patterson, he tried to keep him off those legs, but Mr. Wrestling too, he ain't no slouch. He's gonna keep on keeping on, and he kept up. I mean, Patterson did his best to try to knock those legs out from under him.
He couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Pat Patterson couldn't keep Mr. Wrestling 2's shoulders down. Pinfall attempt after pinfall attempt, but
Mm-hmm. He was
the
wearing
man
out the
kept picking up.
legs. And then the man, he went for pin, trying to, end him, but it just wasn't happening.
Wasn't happening. So Pat Patterson goes for the coup de grace. He's going to the top rope for a devastating knee drop to Mr. Wrestling 2's head,
Oh
which
my goodness.
is a devastating move, as it clearly shows. I mean, a
Mm-hmm.
knee from the top rope, probably going to win.
I mean,
But Mr. Wrestling 2, he rolled out of the way.
oh my goodness. Oh, he was a house of fire.
He came back like a house of fire.
Oh man.
Patterson gets whipped back and forth, pillar to post, taking numerous backdrops. It was nuts.
Mm-hmm. Pillar to post. I mean, it was just taking numerous backdrops.
I think I just said that.
That's right, man. I'm just repeating what you say, dude. Cause man, this was a match.
Quite the match. But the referee accidentally gets knocked down.
Oh man, these refs hitting the sauce. They can't stay out of the way of the action. They get knocked over.
So Mr. Wrestling 2, he hits a knee lift,
Mm-hmm.
and he goes for a pinfall. But the ref, he ain't there.
God, man,
Should
this
have been
this ref must have been the other Joker's brother. You know?
should have been a 1-2-3. New South American champion, Mr. Wrestling 2.
Man, it just didn't happen. The ref wasn't there. He couldn't
No.
count.
So Mr. Wrestling 2, he gets up, he turns around and goes to check on the ref, wake him up. Slapped him around a little bit to wake him up. As his back is turned to Patterson, you know what Pat Patterson did?
Why? What'd he do?
He reached into his tots and he pulled out some brass knuckles.
Oh my goodness! I knew he did that because I was there watching it with you. But you gotta draw the suspense for the fans. And oh my
See,
God, it's dastardly Pat Patterson. He's got the brass knucks.
you got this radio thing down. You build, you suck them in, then you give it to them.
Kind of repeat what the other guy's saying.
Damn right.
That's right.
It's a build, kid.
So it is a build, kid.
So the inevitable happened, and Pat Patterson slugs him. Mr. Wrestling 2 is knocked out.
Just like that.
Just like that. Pat Patterson throws the brass knuckles back down his tights. Referee
Man.
wakes up. 1, 2, and 3.
That Joker needs his eyes checked or something. I mean, he just hit him with brass knucks. I know you're kind of groggy, but you had to have seen that.
You would have thought so, but no indication that he saw anything.
Man.
The winner of this match and the new South American Heavyweight Champion is none other than the WWF North American Heavyweight Champion, Pat Patterson.
Yeah, you got to give him credit, though. I mean, he might have did some dastardly deeds to get there, but hook or by crook, he got there.
He got there. Following this match, Pat Patterson is presented with the South American Heavyweight Championship by Hank McGee, the promoter down there. But Pat Patterson, he wasn't just going to accept this award. He grabbed the microphone.
Man, what's he got to say? I mean, goodness gracious. He's the new champ.
I know, he's the new champ. You think he's going to see happy things?
He's like, what can he say to his new, his new audience in South America?
Well, you know what he said?
Brazil. Yeah.
He started running them down.
Oh my
He
goodness.
kept talking about how horrible the Brazilian fans were. Said the whole country smelled like shit.
Oh my goodness. He's like, the whole country kind of smells like shit.
That's exactly what he said.
That's exactly what he said. It's
And
like,
then,
man. I mean,
yeah.
I feel bad we got to come on here and talk like this, on the radio, and this goes over the airwaves. That's what the man said. We got to call it like it is.
Yeah, so he said that the whole country smells like shit, and then he said something like, and that you can't tell if the women were actually women or men down here. And then he winked at the crowd, which I thought was odd.
That is odd. Man.
But the crowd was fired up. They were just seething at Pat Patterson.
I mean, he was going on about how the title was a joke for years. I mean, you got to be a gracious champion.
Yeah, he said that the only reason Joel Gomez held the title for so long because no one else in the territory knew anything about wrestling.
I mean, the fans, they start throwing garbage, they start hitting the ring, man, and the booze was echoing throughout the whole arena. And oh man,
It was quite the scene.
it was. Patterson was declared the South American title was useless. That's what he
Yep.
said, man. He was like,
Said it was useless and that he would never defend it again, and he would certainly never return to South America to wrestle.
Patterson threw down the South American title belt. Oh man, that had to set those fans on fire. I mean, we were there, we saw it. They were on fire.
They were throwing bottles into the ring. They're anything. They're throwing the chairs.
Man, he grabs the North American title belt, held it above his head, and he declared himself. Get this. Now, this Joker, he thinks he's really something. He declares himself the new Intercontinental Champion.
The fans in this arena were livid.
Man. Well, what kind of belt is the Intercontinental Championship?
Who knows? This Pat Patterson. I don't know if his name will stick. If any promoter will keep this sort of belt.
I mean, who would name their kid? Your last name's Patterson, so why would you name him Pat?
That's a good question.
I mean, you want to give this kid a chance in life. I mean, but no, he's down here in Rio de Janeiro, and he's throwing down belts, not respecting the crowd, all because his parents probably called him Pat Patterson. I mean, what the hell's the matter with his parents calling him Pat?
He's got a bit of a chip on his shoulder, and that's probably why he's got it.
Man. Intercontinental belt.
He calls himself the Intercontinental Champion.
That'll be the day.
But I tell you what, the fans rushed the ring. He's lucky to have gotten out of there alive.
Yep, there's a great Intercontinental Champion just running for his life. Man. I think some of those women, there are some, fine specimens out there. And he's out there saying they look like men. Man. What's up with that guy? There's something wrong with him.
Damn right there is. Well, ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
that was the South American title tournament. We had some ups, we had some
Mm-hmm.
downs, but we had a good time.
Overall, man, I gotta give the show a thumbs up.
Thumbs up from me too. I
You
had a
know.
good time. I'm sure we'll be back to the Rio territory for a lot more great
Mm-hmm.
events.
He is kind of on to something. The country did kind of smell like shit.
They did. You know, the women thing was kind of true too.
Hey, now, come on. Alrighty. Well, yeah, we're going to be grooving out playing some Odyssey 2 here on the break, and we'll be right back. Oh, yeah.